If you still believe that you do enjoy smoking, light one up now, take 6 deep puffs on it, analyse the feeling, and ask yourself what you're enjoying about it. Once you've understood that smoking gives you no genuine pleasure or crutch whatsoever, you'll suffer no feelings of deprivation when you stop. So why do smokers find it such a trauma trying to stop on the willpower method? They know the disadvantages of smoking outweigh the advantages, and that they'd be better off as non-smokers. But because they don't understand the nicotine trap, they still believe that smoking provides them with a genuine pleasure or crutch, and that they're making a sacrifice. They force themselves into a self-imposed tantrum, like a child being deprived of its sweets. They hope that if they can endure the misery of the tantrum for long enough, time will heal the wound, the craving will go, and they'll be free. However, in the vast majority of cases, this approach fails, as the ex-smoker feels deprived, miserable, and irritable, to the point where life as a non-smoker seems intolerable. Because the empty, insecure feeling caused by the little monster is indistinguishable from hunger and normal stress, and because ex-smokers continue to experience hunger and normal stress after they've quit, they often interpret those feelings in their mind as, "I want a cigarette," even after the little monster has disappeared. And so they're never sure whether they've kicked it. And even if they do manage to stop permanently, they're often left moping for a cigarette at certain times for the rest of their lives. Alan Carr's method uses the opposite approach, changing your perception of cigarettes even before you stop, so that afterwards you don't miss them. Smokers often try to cut down because they can't face stopping completely, but it doesn't work. You don't allow yourself to light up whenever you want to, so you're suffering the craving most of the time and waiting to smoke. Now your whole life is dominated by the next cigarette, which seems the most precious thing on earth, and you usually end up smoking more than you did before. All the so-called special cigarettes seem to be after a period of abstinence. The first in the morning, after a meal, after work, after exercise, after sex, etc. This is because the only actual pleasure or crutch smokers receive when they light up is not the cigarette itself, but the ending of the aggravation of craving it. Just like a hunger for food, the longer you suffer it, the greater the pleasure when you finally relieve it. So the less we smoke, the greater the illusion of pleasure. Far from helping you to escape from the trap, cutting down keeps you a slave for life. And smokers make the mistake of thinking it's just a habit. They think, if I can get into the habit of just smoking a few a day, after a while I'll get used to that. You need to get it clearly into your mind, smoking is not a habit, it's drug addiction. If it was simply a habit, you would have already broken it. Perhaps you think habits are hard to break. They're not. In Britain, we're in the habit of driving on the left, but have no problem switching to the right when abroad. Furthermore, the nature of drug addiction is to want more and more, not less and less. Fortunately, the addiction is also easy to break, providing you understand the nature of the trap.